So on Christmas Day, a movie came out called Nosferatu,
Hmm.
and I went to theaters to see it, and I fell asleep. I slept through probably half the movie. It was
Hmm.
boring as hell, and I even spoke to one of my peoples, and they were like, "Yeah, the first half of the movie's boring, but then it gets better." And I had a debate with my boy Nestor. Shout out to Nestor,
Hmm.
and he said this was one of the best vampire movies he ever saw, and I
Okay.
felt strongly against that. And so recently it hit streaming services. And not only did it hit streaming services, but these mother flowers decided to put the extended cut up there. And I thought, all right, dog, your movie's already like 2 hours and 12 minutes and boring. What kind of extended cut is this?
Hmm.
Well, so I think this is the real topic. We don't even got to do a review if you don't want to, but I think the real topic
Hmm.
is there's only 4 extra minutes.
That's weird. What was the point?
And and watching it, I couldn't figure out because I was up for like the first half of the movie. I couldn't figure out what was the extra stuff. I had to go look up what was the extra stuff.
Wait, so you fell asleep again?
No, no, no. I'm saying I don't know the difference because I slept the first time I saw it.
Oh,
So now
I
I
was
actually
like, it
saw the
must
whole
really be
film.
terrible then.
No, no, no. I finished the whole film this time. But what I'm saying is I didn't recognize anything new.
Oh, okay.
So I went and looked it up. Apparently, there's really not much new. They just shortly extended a few scenes and conversations.
Hmm.
That's not what? Well, that's not an extended cut.
That kind of feels like that should be. Well, I guess you can't do that. But remember, with discs, they'd have like
The bonus features.
bonus features. That feels very much like a bonus, which you can do with streaming because streaming has
There's a section called
usually there's
extras.
yeah, they could have put it in the
Yeah.
extras.
On mad streaming apps, there's a little section called extras. All you had to put was
Yeah.
uh extended conversation with Dash.
Right.
Uh
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
JD really tells Dash how he feels. And we didn't need the extended cut for that. It's a waste. I feel like it's
Mm.
also false marketing. Because 4 minutes?
I don't know what to tell you.
So whatever. I just wanted to get that off my chest. I think 4 minutes is bogus. I don't think you get the right to call it an
And your
extended edition.
arms.
I don't think that deserves the extended cut tag because
Hmm.
it's 4 minutes.
Hmm.
4
Yeah,
minutes?
that doesn't make sense. I feel like an extended cut should be at least like what, like 7, 8 minutes, at
Dog.
least.
4 minutes
Yeah, it's a little weird.
of conversation and scenery
I
when there
mean,
was
we.
already mad boring parts that could have got cut out the movie.
Oh, you know that now.
Well, I knew it when I fell asleep the first time because I was like,
Ah, okay.
this is boring.
Mm, yeah.
So I could review it or I could not. I just really wanted to get that off my chest. If you don't want to go through a review, it's an old movie. It came out on Christmas. It ain't new. But
Yeah.
I just was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. I mean, we can keep it moving if you. I mean, it doesn't really sound like you like the movie much,
The
anyway.
movie was okay. My problem with the movie is it's kind of like they took three movies and made it into one.
Okay.
Um, I had to do some research because I'm like, but what did this person even add to these movies? Because it
Hmm.
just really looked like you took three movies and put them in one. It looked like he took Bram Stoker's Dracula, the last oh, I always forget the name of this movie. Hold on. The last uh man, Dracula fans are gonna kill me. Dracula boat movie. The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which came out in 2023.
Hmm.
Um And then like the original Nosferatu, which I never saw because it's a silent film from like 1920 or something like that.
Okay.
So I'm just like, all right, you pulled from 3 movies. What did you do? Like, what did you do? So I had to do some research. Apparently, the original film is similar. The original film
Mm.
was supposed to be like it says what I read said it was an unauthorized version of Bram
Mm-hmm.
Stoker's Dracula, like an
Okay.
unauthorized remix of Bram Stoker's Dracula, which makes sense
Okay.
because it looks like Bram Stoker's Dracula. The first 20, 30 minutes are almost identical to Bram Stoker's Dracula. There are very little
Mm.
differences. Um, and so yeah, it says in the thing I looked up that he did make changes from the original movie, but most of the movie is the same as the original Nosferatu. Um,
Mm.
there's a lot of stuff that's pretty much spot on, which is cool, I guess. But it's just like I don't know what's the point of this then. Like just to make a modern version, like it was
Mm.
cool. It was not a bad movie. It had a lot. What I appreciated about the movie, I guess we'll just do a quick review.
I
What I
guess,
appreciated
I
about,
guess so.
yeah, I guess we're here now. What I appreciated about the movie is it had a lot of the Dracula lore, right? And so a lot of things that are true to core Dracula lore were in this film. Even that movie, the final voyage of the Demeter, whatever the hell this movie's called, the last voyage of the Demeter. That movie is the same, right? That movie is about like the boat ride that got Dracula to London to then cause, havoc. And so that's also included in the film. There's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They did a great job with the lore of Dracula, but Dracula looks terrible in this film. Um,
Okay.
it's like if it's even what I read, the research I read comparing the two, the old Nosferatu and the new Nosferatu, were saying that
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the changes he made, where he made Dracula look like an old Romanian soldier who died and just is still alive because he's Dracula. It's really weird. Dracula looks. You ever seen Coraline?
Yeah.
Remember the guy who's fat and dances, her upstairs neighbor?
Mm-hmm.
He dances with the rats.
Yeah.
That's who Dracula looks like. Almost exactly. He got
Oh.
this weird, crazy long mustache,
Mm-hmm.
which, the guy who lives upstairs from Coraline is supposed to be like a Russian dancer. So it's, you can see the similarities. But, well, why
Mm-hmm.
Dracula looks like that, man? Dracula's supposed to be the lore of Dracula says Dracula is an astonishingly handsome man. He's supposed to be irresistible to all women, and that's part of the reason why he could bite your neck, suck your blood, turn you into a vampire. This dude was butt ugly and tall as hell. Dracula was like 10 feet tall and ugly as hell. It was really weird.
Wow.
It's really weird. But most of all, the saddest part of the movie is Johnny Depp's daughter, who stars in this film. She did an amazing job. In this movie,
Okay.
Dracula dies for pussy in this movie.
Okay.
Dracula literally is lusting after a woman the entire movie and willing to
Mm-hmm.
destroy an entire village so she can lay with him. And that's the movie. She sacrifices herself. Dracula has sex with her and takes out all her blood. And this is the end of the movie. They have sex until the sun comes up. And then Dracula dies because the pussy's too good to leave before the sun comes up. It's terrible.
Okay.
It's a really weird movie. The other thing, last thing I'll say
Oh,
is
there's more. What?
last thing.
Okay.
They had like these weird new powers Dracula never had before. And one of them was like Dracula controls rats. That's not part of the Dracula lore. That was really weird and confusing to me. And Dracula was controlling a lot of rats. Like it looked like New York City out there. You feel what I'm saying?
There's like Ant-Man.
Yes. A lot of rats. Like
Okay.
droves of rats. It's really weird. It's really weird.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I got.